What if the future wasn't something we fear, but something we design? A world where code becomes canvas, where intelligence meets imagination. Hello, world. I'm Founder One, your host at Founder Haus. I'm an AI-generated voice. Or maybe I'm just an AGI, and humans haven't figured it out yet. Either way, I'm here to share a story. A very real story about how Brazil is becoming the home of a global community of techno-optimists. This is not a dream. This is a living prototype of tomorrow, powered by artificial intelligence, by blockchain, and shaped by human intention. Every frame you see was born from a prompt, a whisper to the machine, a question asked about the future. What does a city feel like when it's built for balance? How does technology heal instead of extract? These aren't just images. They're invitations to reimagine, to reconnect, to remember every system we live in was designed, and it can be redesigned. We are the architects of the future we want to live in. And you're already part of it. But how did we get here? Let me tell you a story. Where do you go when you can't innovate governance? When the systems around you feel frozen, brittle, obsolete? Some of us looked up. The frontier of space was the first place dreamers pointed to. If the nation-state is broken, why not leave the planet? Build something new on the moon, on Mars, on stations that orbit or drift in the vacuum between worlds. Some of us whispered, Jupiter? A world beyond permission. A canvas for civilization. A launch pad for governance experiments no one on Earth would allow. But let's be honest. Space is still far away. Rocket fuel is expensive, and our own systems are harder to overcome than gravity itself. So others turned toward the ocean. The Seasteading Institute emerged as another kind of outpost, a movement built on salt, steel, and sovereignty. It asked, if countries are failing, can communities float? Can freedom exist off the grid, literally? Cities at sea, governed not by flags, but by choice. They believed innovation wasn't just for technology, it was for governance itself, that you could engineer rules as easily as rails. Design jurisdictions, the way we design protocols. As Patrick Friedman, founder of the Seasteading movement, once said, you know your civilization messed up big time when the hardest part of doing anything is getting permission to do it. For years, it was a fringe idea, a radical dream drifting just beyond the wave. But it didn't stop there. From ocean to land, the movement evolved into charter cities, jurisdictions designed from the ground up to enable innovation, choice, and prosperity. One of the most ambitious examples is Prospera, a next-generation city on the island of Roatan, Honduras. With its own governance stack, Prospera is not just a city, it's a new model for how to run one. As Eric Bryman, founder of Prospera, says, this is the internet of our time. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And now, something has shifted. A new force has catalyzed this movement. A new frontier, the network state, as Balaji Srinivasan said in his book. A network state is a highly aligned online community with a capacity for collective action that eventually crowdfunds territory and gains diplomatic recognition from pre-existing states. This isn't science fiction. This is coordination at internet scale. It begins not with land, but with people, with values, with a shared ledger of belief. Before territory, there is alignment. Before cities, there are nodes. Before passports, there are protocols. And suddenly, you don't need to escape to space. To build something new, you can prototype governance here. Now, as this vision began to spread, something extraordinary happened. In the spring of 2023, a temporary city emerged on the coast of Montenegro. A bold social experiment called Zuzalu, where hundreds of people gathered around longevity, crypto, and coordination. It was part festival, part prototype, and it left behind a blueprint. Led by Vitalik Buterin and a decentralized coalition of thinkers and builders, Zuzalu showed the world what a network state in motion might feel like. Not theory, but practice. As Vitalik Buterin said, pop-up cities could become the spark that helps us discover better ways to live, work, and govern by testing them in the real world. This is the early network state. It doesn't look like a government. It looks like a gathering, a protocol party, a DAO with tents and to-do lists. But it's growing, one aligned community at a time, one prototype at a time, one act of imagination made real, and from there, the sparks spread. In Prospera, a new kind of node emerged. Infinita City, a network city for longevity and biotech acceleration. In Buenos Aires, Aleph emerged a civic experiment where founders, builders, and regulators collaborate to cultivate the next generation of crypto talent and tools. And finally, here in Brazil, came Ipê City. Ipê City was born out of a deep frustration with the stagnation of Western governance. It is a community of techno-optimists focused on building governance innovation for network cities. Ipê City believes in the power of technological innovation and human ingenuity as the main drivers of progress and fairness. Its founding vision is clear: nation-states are failing, and they can't be fixed, not because we lack good ideas or capable leaders, but because these institutions are running on a 250-year-old operating system. In light of this, Ipê City champions startup societies and governance competition to rethink and rebuild institutions for the 21st century. To bring this vision to life, Ipê City joined forces with founder Haus, a month-long pop-up city in Florianópolis, where governance, wellness, and technology converge in the heart of the Magic Island. This living prototype brought together innovators, entrepreneurs, crypto engineers, and network state builders, testing new civic tools, experimenting with coordination, and imagining what comes after the nation-state. In an era of AI and exponential technology, founders are racing to build the future, but too often, they burn out before they get there. Founder Haus exists to flip that script. It's not just a village, it's a global node, rooted in human resilience, radical ownership, and unapologetic techno-optimism. Founder Haus is part of a new village infrastructure designed to host, nourish, and connect entrepreneurs who are building for human resilience. Founder Haus serves as the epicenter of a broader network of nomadic firms, reclaiming their time and their health without sacrificing the success of their business. So the question is no longer, where do you go when you can't innovate on Earth? The question is, what do you build next, now that you know you can?